Brookvale Oval in Sydney. It's the Manly Sea Eagles versus the Melbourne Storm.
Rain in Sydney throughout the afternoon as we thank you for staying with us on Super Saturday number 11 for the season. You certainly have the warmest seat in rugby league. It's cold here at Brookvale for this match between Manly and Melbourne. The Storm first, the Eagles 8, as we head into round 11 and go into enemy territory. It's the Melbourne Storm dressing room. Several positional and personnel changes. Ryan Hoffman moves from the second row into the centres in jersey number 12. The pack, a very different looking one from the one named on Tuesday. It now reads Crossman, Friend, Donnelly, Kidwell, Kafusi and Feeney. The bench, Smith, Samau, White, Smith and Blair. The coach, of course, is Craig Bellamy. Several players out due to the State of Origin series from both sides. An interesting matchup, though, Gary Freeman.
It certainly is going to be a very, very interesting game here tonight. Both sides down on a number of key players in certain areas. And there's the Seagulls side there, the backs. Brent Stewart back, Robertson, Stevenson, Matai make up the back there along with Hitz, Hicks, Burns and Orford. Interesting in that game there, Orford up against his old club here again, and the Seagulls forwards very, very strong. Watch out for Monahan jumping out of the dummy half area, and Watmo. He have to take over the leadership. Missing, of course, Menzies here today. And I think they're very strong on the bench at the same time. Dunley, Tutt, and a couple others there. They'll be good.
The Melbourne Storm have been exceptional in recent weeks. A 5-match winning streak, including a very impressive top-of-the-table win over North Queensland last week. And this is how the ladder stands. North Queensland, courtesy of the bye, this round have moved back up onto the top spot of the 15-team ladder. The Melbourne Storm can go outright with a win here tonight. Then it's the Broncos, Knights, Dogs, Sharks, Illawarra and the Panthers making up the top 8. The captain, after a stint in reserve grade, or Premier League, should I say, with North Sydney, the feeder club for the Storm for a couple of weeks, is Scotty Hill, who impressed last week despite suffering an horrendous head cut that required over a dozen stitches. He is leading them out. They're under strength, but they are high on confidence, the Melbourne Storm. And one of their real outstanding players so far this year has been the little number 7, asked to move into the void left by Matty Orford. It is Cooper Cronk.
Yeah, and I can't wait for his battle against Orford here tonight. Orford's gone out and said plenty of things in the paper, what he wants to try and do, but Cooper Cronk, he's one of those players been thrown in the number 7 position and a lot of pressure's been put on him, but he stood up to the task. Another player, Jake Webster, only his first game back after getting injured in the New Zealand versus Australia game a couple of Fridays ago. He is very, very dangerous, jumping out of dummy out and looks to make plenty of yards there. That's something that Manly will have to look at.
Matty Orford, the man to lead out the Manly Seagulls against his former club tonight. And welcome back to footy, Junior, for Brett Stewart.
Yeah, he's a genuine excitement machine. He returns from a knee injury, and he's got a tremendous strike rate. We can see there 24 tries in 24 games at Brookvale Oval. He loves playing here, and he'll be looking to work off Matty Orford at every opportunity tonight. And Steve Matai, he's the other player that really the Storm have to keep a close eye on. He burst onto the scene last season, a really aggressive player, loves to intimidate in defence and loves to run the ball out of dummy half.
Player I enjoy watching. He certainly has that mongrel factor about him, Steve Matai, and he will make it very difficult for that right-hand side Melbourne defence over the course of the night. The referee for this match, unlucky 13 perhaps, it's Gavin Badger, only a rookie. We are ready to go. Manly won the toss and will defend the northern end of Brookvale Oval for the opening 40 minutes. But first possession of the football goes to the visitors. Scott Hill offloading. This is Ian Donnelly, who impressed a great deal starting at prop last week in place of Brett White, who of course had City Country commitments on the Friday night. Craig Bellamy didn't think it was in his best interest to back up 24 hours later, and Donnelly has held that spot 7 days later. The number 8 is Garrett Crossman, another off-season purchase for the Storm. Jamie Feeney, just his 4th game for the Storm this year. They go back to Cronk and he goes downtown. The rain continues to fall here. Not heavy, not yet anyway, as Chris Hicks brings it back and is tackled for the first time tonight, 25 metres out from his own line.
And both sides were stating before the game, I must see a couple of these key players. Of course, Cameron Smith will be sorely missed around that hooky roll. Friend there just getting involved in the tackle. He'll take over that position. He's great at throwing long balls and good out of the dummy half area and works really hard defensively.
Before we go too far, there are 7 players missing from this contest due to State of Origin commitments. For the Eagles, it is Steve Menzies, Brent Kite and Stephen Bell. For the Melbourne Storm, Cameron Smith, Dallas Johnson, Matt King and Greg Inglis. Keeping in mind for the Eagles, their inspirational captain Ben Kennedy is also out through injury. Matt Geyer driven backwards in a good strong tackle.
Having said that, with no Ben Kennedy, no rep stars there, it's important that some of these other guys, particularly in the Manly forwards, step up to the plate. And I think Anthony Watmow is due to have a big game tonight. He's the player that really can lift this Manly side. He's a tremendously talented player. We've seen patches of what he can do this season. But tonight, if he plays well, I think the Eagles have a chance of winning this match.
There's a lot of stars out. You include guys like Jason King, Kylie Luluai, Billy Slater and Michael Crocker, both suspended. Once again, Cooper Cronk gets it on the right foot, and he's got a big kick for only a slightly built lad. Robinson was the player from that left wing, bringing it back into play. Matt High. Heavy body contact there with Jake Webster. A battle of strength on that side of the field tonight. Cutout ball. Finds Mark Bryant, the former Canberra Raider, brings it into Melbourne Storm territory. Monahan off to Williamson. The utility, the Mr. Fix-It for Des Hasler, finds himself in the starting side tonight. A good short ball there from Monahan, who darted out from dummy half to link up with Phil Morwood. This is the last tackle, good metres for the home side, 61 of them, as Travis Burns sends it north. They allow it to bounce. Trouble for the Storm, perhaps. It is still the last. Monahan across field. Chris Walker is there, loses his footing, and grounds the ball in goal. Manly will get a second chance at the line.
Yeah, a couple of very, very good kicks there by the Manly side. They put it up nice and high. Monahan now, this is the end result. They got the ball back. Walker just slipping over a fraction, but he got back there. He's playing on that right wing just in time to save the Storm. They're under a bit of pressure there.
Yeah, a lack of enthusiasm there by the Melbourne Storm to not take that ball on the full. It's a dangerous ploy. Fortunately for them, it didn't pay off for Manly, but they've gone the attack, Manly, and looking a lot more enthusiastic in these early stages.
And Monahan looking for the runner there in Glenn Stewart, but Glenn had come back inside, so communication was poor that time for the Eagles. This is Stevenson. Oh, slammed to the ground. Down low was Nathan Friend. Here we go through Orford, crabbing at crossfield, links up with Maddai, who straightens the attack, heads straight for the posts. Tackle number 4. Burns at crossfield, short ball. He found Watmow. This is the last. Options both sides. Cut out ball, and Glenn Stewart. Glenn Stewart is first to score. Early points for the Sea Eagles.
And this comes back on a repeat set of 6 up against the Storm. The early kick over the top. Then they worked it to the middle of the field, and Glenn Stewart has come up for the try. First one tonight and the season. He's only scored 2 in his career. Great ball by Monahan. The old cutout pass. Hoffman come out of the defensive line. He needed to stay a little bit wider then. He created the opportunity for him to run at the hole. Guy had 2 to take. Couldn't pick the right one.
Yeah, well, I mentioned a little bit earlier the lack of enthusiasm in those first few sets from the Melbourne Storm. It was quite evident on that occasion. They didn't get off their line. They're renowned for intimidating the opposition, the Melbourne Storm. That's lacking tonight. They really need to get that into gear as soon as possible. Glenn Stewart, brother of Brett Stewart, not a renowned try scorer. He'll be really happy with that, but really happy with the start that he's provided for Manly tonight.
And a difficult kick for Matt Orford to start his goal-kicking campaign tonight. 20.5 metres back, about a metre in from touch. Only kicked at 50% against the Broncos last week. That was a big loss. 32 points to 10. Up north. And the Eagles are pretty desperate to snap a 2-game losing streak right here at the place they call the Fortress, Brookvale Oval. Strikes it and pushes it out to the left-hand side, so the scoreline remains after 6 minutes. Manly 4, Melbourne yet to score. Not a huge crowd in attendance. It's been a wet old afternoon in Sydney Town, Wiz.
Yeah, it has. There's a keen supporter there, all rugged up here for the big game. I'm just got to say that these kids, these players that have come out here tonight, they get an opportunity to really stamp their authority in this game while they're missing some superstars. To say to their coach in a year's time, or maybe 2, or in the next couple of weeks, I am available. Pick me because I want to lead by example. That's good defence there by Nathan Friend. Nice and low, driving into the ribs.
It's no surprise the scoreline reads 4-0 as you have a look at the possession. Each side has so far enjoyed 72% of the football has been in the hands of the home side. This is Steve Turner, perhaps the number 3 fullback for the Storm, and I say that respectfully with Billy Slater and Greg Inglis both not playing tonight. Turner very versatile, can play wing, can play at number 1.
He has been playing on the wing, but he is a recognised fullback and a very good fullback indeed. Came from the Penrith club down to the Melbourne Storm. Was forced on the wing basically because Billy Slater's been playing so well, and Greg Inglis has slipped into that role. Gets an opportunity tonight, and he's dangerous in attack. Great defence there by Manly.
Excellent defence, and it was Ian Donnelly, the man that spilt the ball in 14. Good field position for the home side. This is Watno charging forward, as he must do all night. Plenty of pressure on the 2 front rowers for Manly, in Phil Morwood and Mark Bryant. Of course, no Jason King, no Brent Kite, no Kylie Lulawai up front for the Eagles tonight. Tackle 20 metres out from the line, centre field. Tackle number 3 it is for the home side as Orford goes across field, puts it in behind. It is lunged at by Webster. He gets up and goes again, pushes off Bryant.
But the big thing that Des Hasler will be happy with tonight that's been lacking in the last 2 losses to the Tigers and Brisbane is ball security. They were pathetic last week against Brisbane with their ball security. They were dropping a lot of ball. They failed to complete their sets and struggling a bit in back play there. Jake Webster.
Yeah, big Antonio Kafusi there, almost breaking the line.
But ball control tonight for the Eagles has been great, and that's kept the Melbourne Storm deep down in their own territory.
Cronk taking it to the line, links up with Turner, puts the speed on, got away from Stewart initially, was wrapped up from behind by Matt Orford and Steve Matai. An opportunity to the right-hand side. They go from Cronk, a long ball. It was forward regardless. Chris Walker couldn't handle it, and perhaps a missed opportunity for the visitors.
That's one area that the Manly side will have to watch, is that inside play by keeper Cronk picking up those players and then just throws a really long ball. He probably would have been better off if he had his time again to go through the hands. But Manly was struggling defensively. Now Matai makes it up around about 25 metres off his own try line.
Does a lot of the tough stuff with Steve Matai. They work the open side through big Mark Bryant, who takes 3 Melbournians to bring him to the ground. 37 metres out from his own line. Monahan opts for the open side. And in these conditions, expect to see quite a bit of drop ball, and hopefully not too much more of that. It just looked like a raised forearm that time from David Kidwell.
And that was on Matt Orford at the same time. It'll be interesting if we have a look at that again somewhere down the track.
Friend, Donnelly. The call from teammates will be hold the pill. He does just that. Drives ahead and is tackled on just the second. Centre field. 20 metres out. The ball to Scott Hill, a second-man ball. Turner. He is brought down. Hill at first receiver. Cronk at second. Had plenty of ball runners there. Decided to go with Feeney as the inside man. An opportunity to the right. They go the left through. Friend to the line. Has he got there? No, he hasn't. Double movement rule.
Wait up. Got to get plays onside.
Gavin Badger made an instant decision there. He was obviously in great field position.
Yeah, he got himself in just behind the play here. He looks out there. It just goes to promote the ball. Tell you what, you're that close. I would have had a go at that myself. But Friend was very good down at dummy half. Straight down the middle where Manly had been struggling in the last probably 2 sets, Wayne.
Yeah, they have. And Melbourne given a little bit of possession, looking dangerous. Manly are vulnerable, as you mentioned, through the centre of the ruck. They've got to get their ruck defence tight, and they've got to slow down the Storm, play the ball when the Storm in possession. It's easy to do the yardage stuff, coming out of your own territory and doing the attack, but when it's their turn to defence, they've got to muscle up.
That was the third set in a row. I think you'll find that Melbourne didn't complete the set, so a worrying sign for Craig Bellamy earlier as Travis Burns puts it on the boot. Close to the sideline, too close for Steve Turner. He lets it go over the lines. We have a look up in the Manly coach's box. A very nervous Desi Hasler.
Well, there'll be plenty of instructions going from the coach down to the sideline, then out to the players. Just make sure that you keep turning this big forward pack of the Storm around as much as possible. Probably let them kick a little bit earlier in the set.
A little bit slow that last one. Just work out of that ruck for me. Oh, no, it's all right. I'm just giving you a tip. Back it up, fellas. Back it up, we want to go back. We're going to go back this line, fellas. On the 10. Back it up, Melbourne. Take it all the way back. Thanks, fellas. 2 handstand square.
That is an early change for Hasler. On is George Rose. Off is Phil
Let's get our hands
Morwood.
in. Outside leg up. That's it. Front in. Front in, Coop. That's out.
Took a while, but for Melbourne it was worth the wait as Ryan Hoffman takes it first from the scrum base. Oh, these are good meters. Webster. He ran 6 and slid 4 for a gain of 10. Here is Donnelly. Straightens it up. There were 4 Manly players in on that tackle, including Glenn Stewart, the front rowers now, who are Rose and Bryant. Halfway. Here is Cronk straight through the middle. One-on-one with Stewart. Looks to the outside. It was a speculator. Chris Walker not allowed to his feet. David Kidwell goes from dummy half. Chips over the top. A problem at the back. And Manly are trapped. They complete the set to the Melbourne Storm and they will get a repeat set.
It's a good battle, the 2 halves there. Cooper Cronk just letting Orford know, hey, I'm in the game. Throws a bit of a dummy. And Kidwell looking to come on the inside. Gets through those 2 easy tackles. Then throws a big left foot step. And Jack Webster just arriving just a fraction too late. Kidwell, this is the little chip over the top. Stewart has to clean up. And look in there, gets in there nice and tight. And they get another repeat set.
Well, he was short on support, and that's the position that Steve Bell would have been in. I mean, he's a player that can anticipate. That's what they're probably lacking, is a little bit of cohesion on their line breaks. And once again, strong defence there from Manly. Travis Burns, hasn't he improved since he's come into first grade, making every post a winner?
The 8ers Crossman for Melbourne.
Coming back, George.
20 metres out, tackle number 2, another good opportunity. Now that they're having their fair share of the footy, it has been all the Storm the last couple of minutes. Second man ball to Hill on to Kafusi. Big and strong. Again, it was Burns right around the socks. To Cronk. Steps once. Can't beat the line. That is the last tackle. Scott Hill will be the go-to man. He's on the right-hand side of the ruck. That's where they go. Heads back. Tunnel ball. Back to Cronk. A bit of time. Across field he goes. And try perhaps.
Nashi, I wanted to check for the grounding of this football by Manly first and then by Melbourne.
That's his hand out there. Can you check that, please?
Walk away.
Yeah, please, sir.
It's out of my hands now.
Can you just ask him to check that there?
It's out of my hands now. It's his decision. Walk away now.
Sloppiest try of the night. Have they got the points?
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if the winger, Chris Hicks, has actually caught the ball and forced it at the same time. This is the play, the last play with Scott Hill, and you see there, Feeney straight through the legs. Then Cooper Cronk goes, well, there's nothing happening here. Kicks it off the side of his boot. So the right side, that's not a problem. It's actually the outside winger.
They are waiting nervously, aren't they, Manly? Body language is any indication. They believe perhaps it's a Melbourne try. Steve Nash is our video referee.
Yeah, this is once again, just have a look at this nice and closely. He hits it on the outside of the boot. That's fine. That's play on. They're onside. There. It's Hoffman coming through.
Well, I don't know if they are. I don't know if Ryan Hoffman is onside for a start. We don't see on that particular angle, but didn't look too.
You can't say he's offside.
No, you can't say he's offside because by the time they pan out, he looks like he's in an offside position, but I think he's all right. He's kicked there behind the line, and then you don't see Hoffman now. Then he comes in. That's fine. He's onside. That's fine. And now the worry is there. Did he ground it? I'd say he's grounded.
I think that's grounded. I don't think that's the problem.
Where it comes from.
I think he had control of the football when he hit the ground, and to me that's grounded. So I think that will be a no try. But Chris Hicks looks concerned though, doesn't he? He's got control. Oh, well, he sort of slipped out. But then did he? Well, that's a different angle. That's a different angle. And although he lost control of it, did he control it momentarily under his body and force it? Well,
he's forced it with the bread basket, the belly.
I would be saying no try, but have another look.
Our video ref Steve Nash is looking for the offside or onside at the moment.
That vision there doesn't show it. The other vision did. He wasn't offside. That's fine. Well, and looking at that and what he's looking at, Steve Nash, maybe we're going to see a green light here. I agree with you, Wayne. He's lost the ball, but has he forced it there?
I think that's forced it there.
Forced.
I think he's got control of it there, or he's forced it with his body anyway.
Yeah.
In that position. Yeah.
Well,
I'm voting for a red light.
No try.
You guys going to get an
no
opinion?
try.
I'm with you.
But
we could be
stranger
wrong.
things have happened.
We're either going to be the three stooges or the three wise men, one of the two. Steve Nash is our video referee, and he says no try. It's a goal line dropout.
Maybe
Chris Hicks has forced the football.
Absolutely. Maybe we should be doing the video referee at the same time.
Stay on,
have to look at it once.
Quicker result, Lewis.
Oh, could be. But look, I don't blame the video referees for taking that long, because in big games, this is what's going to happen. They're going to have to make a very, very hard and tough call. So you might as well get it right now. So hats off to Steve Nash for taking his time and get the right result. Stolen ball there.
There's 3 people in there, and the ball's been raked out. The ball's been raked.
Ball raked out there according to Gavin Badger. That was on the first. And the quick restart from the Storm through the hands of Garrett Crossman, the former Penrith Panther, back to Friend. Just searching a little high, that time was Stewart. He's a live wire, the number 9, filling in for Cameron Smith. Kidwell, he lost his footing that time on the end of a Cooper Cronk ball.
Holding, go.
7 metres out. Cronk to Hill. There is room out this side. Hoffman did extremely well to hold on to the football. The big utility had to reach right out in front of him. Dyer finds Hill, steps off the right, going nowhere fast. Tackle number 4. This Manly line has been superb so far. Feeney at second receiver. He can't get the ball loose either. The defensive coaching at Narrabeen's been working during the week. They have been excellent. And Chris Hicks does his best. At the end, it's good enough. An excellent defensive period from the home sides. That will really boost their confidence.
Well, they got off their line very, very quickly. And once you do that against the Storm, it puts them under all sorts of pressure. And what I'd like to see them do is put the ball along the ground a little bit. Stewart looks still a little bit out of position in the fullback spot there for Manly. And I'd put it along the ground and try and get repeat sets.
Very important to start well against Melbourne. Oh, as the Eagles lose
Trying to play
possession.
too quick. You surrendered in a tackle, and you tried to play too quick. That's exactly the same as I called every other day, mate.
In the 7 games that Melbourne have won this year, Gary, they have led at half-time. In the 2 games they've lost this year, they've been trailing at half-time. So they're statistically unlikely to shock you in the second half. Manly can go to the break up.
Here we go.
They'll get a great deal of confidence from that.
Well, I think they might too, but I think Melbourne now, there'll be messages coming from their coach, Craig Bellamy. Let's attack down the left-hand side of Manly, which is the Melbourne side, right side, and that is where Orford is stationed. Go to the little man, work him over, go back at him, and get the ball 2 passes wide. That seems to be making some inroads into the Manly side. Another mistake.
That is sloppy on just the second tackle from Melbourne. We're at the quarterway point of the contest almost. Just the one try.
The big challenge for Manly is to complete their sets, to get the ball down the other end of the field, and once again put some pressure on the Melbourne Storm. As I said a little bit earlier, they've struggled to complete their sets in the past couple of weeks, come up with a lot of errors, try to overplay their hand, keep it simple. As we can see there, both teams coming up with lots of mistakes tonight, a bit breezy, but Manly in particular need to focus on just getting their kick away and trying to force some errors into the Storm down the opposite end of the field.
Most impressive aspect of the contest so far has been Manly's defence, be it technique or desire. They've been excellent. Here is Turner. Oh, had on the inside Walker. Couldn't get the hands free.
Yeah, that would have been interesting if he could have got the ball, but I tell you what, he got great protection, and all the Melbourne Storm players knew that kick was on, and they got back there and supported their fullback.
They know Matt Orford well, don't they?
Absolutely. As soon as he went down this right-hand edge, they knew the ball was coming back down the middle. Good run by Crossman.
He's impressed a great deal so far in 06, Garrett Crossman. Good ball there from Friend, linked up with Cronk. 40 metres out, last tackle now to Scotty Hill. Last tackle, and they go to ground with the football. A poor decision from the veteran.
Well, the decision to run the ball was probably the right one because they were short numbers. The problem was he didn't let anyone else know. Robinson nearly gets through for Manly. Kafusi just picks him up and throws him to the ground.
A mismatched sumo wrestling contest that was, and the Eagles have dropped another one. Now it's Kafusi's turn with the football. He loses it. It's a drop-a-thon at Brookie.
It is greasy conditions out there, very greasy conditions, but the ball security for both teams, I think it's a function of their nerves. I mean, there's a lot of inexperience out there today. There's a lot of players that don't seem to be talking because they're new to the lineups, and it's mean that both teams are playing very disjointed type of football.
Maddai got it out that time to Robertson. Did well to grab the footy, control it, and move back infield. He was dangerously close to the sideline as Orford comes across to Burns, who straightens up. Kafusi was there, so too Friend. Rubber head back into the hands of Orford. Watmo spilt it.
Forward pass.
And the pass was deemed as forward by the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles. It will be a Melbourne scrum and ultimately Melbourne possession.
And plenty of talk there by Orford, knowing that the ball had come back to him. Got the replay. This is when they are very dangerous down the centre of the field. When Monahan jumps out of dummy half, there you see Orford giving the pass to Watmo, and he just took his eyes off it. Probably didn't think that Orford was going to catch the ball. And he had plenty to say, the little seven. He wants to win this game. He wants to show the team he used to play for how good he is. And he said plenty in the paper, let me say.
Well, it's really the master and the apprentice, isn't it? Cooper Cronk out to show that, you know, he took some tips away from Matty Orford. He plays a similar style of football to Matt Orford as well. And well, Matty, he wants to show, well, you've still got a lot to learn. Pretty even duel out there at the moment. Both players having a significant impact.
Here is Geyer. Links up with Turner. He drives it towards halfway. Centre field, tackle number 4. Again, it's Watmo there. He has been very busy defensively. In fact, the whole back row for the Eagles. Williamson, Watmo and Stewart. Gain of 50 metres.
Takes off in the middle.
Kick over to the winger, Chris Hicks. Very safe under the high ball. Has filled in superbly over the last couple of weeks at fullback for Brett Stewart.
But once again, look at the amount of time that Cooper Cronk had to put that kick in the air. And he's had too much time to put all of the kicks in, and Manly will pay unless they put some pressure on the kicking game for the Melbourne Storm. Fortunately, there wasn't the chasers on that occasion, but we've got to put a little bit more kick and intimidate the kick, a little bit more pressure and intimidate the kick.
Play on.
Big weekend of junior footy out west of Dubbo as the penalty goes.
We also
to
had Jake
Manly.
offside as well. Jake, get on. But we've got the flop.
Just 3 penalties so far in the match, but some very talented second-generation footballers out there. Congratulations to junior son Mitchell for making the New South Wales Open Combined Catholic Colleges side. And our other commentator, Gary, whose young son, Chris, made the New South Wales Triple C under-15s in the second row. Bigger than his old man already, and just as fierce. So 2 very proud fathers sitting next to me tonight.
Mate, those boys will love you tonight. Let me give you the tip. But this is where the Storm are going to really tight. We're going to watch Manly, watch Monahan jumping out of dummy half and playing to the edges.
Well read defensively from Geyer there. And he's a handful, isn't he? Paul Stevenson, a big lad out wide. Here is Burns. Hard to bring to ground. They do just that. Again, it is Geyer.
Just play it, Trav, walk away.
Geyer and Burns exchange pleasantries after it. Here is Stewart. His brother's already scored. Back to Burns. Geyer is there again. Orford across field. Walker is there.
Bring it with us, Chris.
Some great defensive combinations tonight. Both sides of the field, on both teams are working exceptionally well together.
Yeah, they are. Chris Walker did a fantastic job there for the Storm. One, that he was up in the defensive line, then he had to turn and chase. This man here puts a beautiful little grubber kick in. He knew that Robinson's a very, very fast winger on that left-hand edge, and he was coming at 1,000,000 miles an hour. So both sides really are willing to two things: throw the ball around, but come up with great defensive plays.
We saw the possession favouring the Sea Eagles at 72% earlier in the night. We are right down the middle now at 50-50. Here is Watmo. Are the Storm vulnerable? Back-to-back sets. Monahan to the line. Short ball. Rose. He is denied. There's 5 Melbourne players there. That creates an opportunity out wide. Orford over the top. They turn Walker around. Mackay. He is held up.
That's going to be 4.
What an exceptional display of defence. I know we've harped on it, but both sides should be commended here.
Wait up, Steve. Time's
Difficult
off.
conditions. This is great.
And just look then, Walker was up. He was in front of the winger Robinson. He had to turn and chase along with Webster, who had gone up very quick off the line. Which one thing that the Storm will have to watch, and then this little man Orford will put a kick in early like he has now. Too long.
Far too long from Matty Orford. A rare mistake. He is a very consistent little footballer, the number 7.
And difference between the two teams in terms of the pressure they're putting on the kickers. On that occasion, Matt Orford didn't have any time at all to put to set the kick up. It was far too long in the end. But the idea was right, and they're looking to attack the right-hand side, their right-hand side attack, and get some players running out wide, running in particular out wide at Ryan Hoffman.
Friend crosses the ruck. Be very interesting to monitor Matt Orford over the next couple of weeks. If you wind the clock back, he was favourite for the New South Wales number 7 jersey only a fortnight ago. Didn't make the Blues side. Confidence is a strange thing. Will he lose it, or will it inspire him to go to a whole new level? We'll find out in the coming weeks. Cronk across field. That's awkward, but Stewart takes it very well at the back. And then he is tackled 10 metres out.
And that's one thing that the Storm do very, very well. Their kick chase has been very good for the last probably 4 to 5 weeks. They work hard at it. Then they get off their line very, very quickly. Now, there's added pressure here to the Manly side to try and work it out. There we saw Cooper Cronk. He's the man that's putting the kicks in and leading the chase and coming up with tackles.
Gareth Crossman getting arrested at the moment. Adam Blair in 17 is on the field. This kick from just outside the 40 goes straight to Turner. Oh, the ball slapped out, then knocked on.
2 knock-ons. First one, Melbourne. No. He's making a tackle, not playing at the footy.
This ruling has been made as a knock-on. We saw something very similar in Friday night footy last night where it was ruled as played at.
Well, he's played at the ball there. I've got no doubt in my mind that Orford has played at that ball, and Kennedy looks like going. Crush and clear there. Blaine's trust in the Manly side and get him to where they are now. I thought he played at the ball.
That is a massive decision, and in favour of Manly as it goes from Burns to Stewart. Bumps off one. Links up with little brother Brett. He gets it off. Tackle is Hicks. Stevenson loses his footing from dummy half. This is just the settler. Centre field. Dunley on the field now for Monaghan. He got it off to Orford. Williamson is running a bit wider than he normally would in the absence of Kennedy and Menzies. Orford, short ball to Mackay. Mackay scores. Isn't he happy about it, Steve Mackay? It is 8-0 in favour of the home side.
And it all comes back to the call by the referee saying that Orford did not play at the ball when Steve Turner was bringing it back from the kick chase. My opinion is that he played the ball, that Mackay running hard and straight. Very, very hard to handle. Watch this here. Defensively, you can just see Chris Walker getting in front of his players. It was interesting to note that two of the forwards were on that right-hand edge where Webster usually is positioned.
Yeah, it just gives you an idea of just how strong Steve Mackay is when you're talking about forwards. And Brett Kite, in particular, front row forward, Mackay was able to steam through, go over and score the try. Tremendous competitor, Steve Mackay.
Adam Blair hasn't been on the field long. He's been called out to see referee Steve Badger.
Listen to what he's got to say, and I'll have a chat about it. Yep. Okay, thanks, Steve. Okay, all we're going to do about that is when you make a tackle, you stand up, you leave it alone. If we don't get a try here, we go back and penalise your side, and then you're going to be blowing up at me. You work on him and make sure we don't have any more of that. Yeah, mate, I'm quite comfortable with that. Thanks, Scott.
It was well picked up by sideline official there, and as he said, we played the advantage. If a try hadn't have been scored, we would have gone back and Manly would have got the penalty.
I mean, it doesn't really achieve anything, young players trying to do that. Work the player over, the attacking player over, and to play the ball in front of the referee. You've got the referee who can spot you, the toucher who can spot you, the video ref who can spot you. So it's just not worth the pain.
Matt Orford yet to kick one tonight. 21 metres back. 4 or 5 in from touch on the eastern side of Brookvale Oval, the hillside, if you like. He struck that one well as the flags go up. 11 minutes to go. The scoreline is Manly 10, Melbourne 0.
And it's just good work there. They're going to the line. But it's the two forwards that shouldn't have been there. Webster, the man for the Storm, should have gone over to that right-hand edge. He lifted up the Kidwell. He was one, and Brett White was the other man. They just couldn't come up with a tackle. He's played well, hasn't he, Matt? The last probably 6 or 7 weeks, he's been probably one of Manly's best.
This is Dunley, always adds some enthusiasm into the Manly side. He was slammed there, friend down low. Also there was Blair, and the two hookers telling a bit of a story, I think is what they were at the ruck. Exchanging a little push and shove.
Defensively, the hooker friend for the Storm has been very strong. Down nice and low. He's only a little man, but it gets him nice and low, and it lifts people up and drives them into the ground. Dunley resenting it.
18 tackles, he leads the statistics there. There he is again assisting in this one, along with Scott Hill and Jamie Feeney. Melbourne have not been held scoreless in the first half this year. Off the side of the boot, is it? No, bounces well, and then into the hands of Travis Burns. Should I say Steve Turner, Travis Burns involved in the tackle. Also the kicker there, Guy, short side through Hoffman. Manly is high on confidence. They're up on the toes. The kick chase has been good. A lot of communication out there.
Well, they started this game well, and that was the key. They had their biggest loss of the season last week against Brisbane. That was the second loss in a row. They needed to start the game well, and they have done so against the Melbourne Storm side that isn't playing with the same enthusiasm we've normally seen from them, basically because they've got their key men out on representative duties.
Oh, big don't argue there. Brett White. Travis Burns coming in to finish it off. And the Cassidy Origin star was left on his backside.
Travis Byrne, just watch him come in and make this tackle there.
Oh.
Just a fraction high. And the referee said, no, it's fine, it's play on. But he was coming in high. There he gets rid of Shane Dunley. He comes across, he just starts to fall into the tackle. So it really wasn't Travis Burns. And the last 3 tackles in a row, Travis Burns has really driven his shoulder into the opposition.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so impressed with Travis Burns. The fact that he's been able to slot into the role and be a tremendous foil for this man, Matty Orford. Orford plays with a lot of finesse, a lot of creativity. Burns is a rough and tumble, go-forward player, tremendous work rate in defence, and a real asset to this team, who have been looking for a 5'8" for probably the last two seasons.
Here is Watno. Runs straight to Scott Hill, who does well technically. Gets the shoulder in and takes the man with him. The 8 is Bryant. Manly, they lead by 10. 8 minutes to go and in good field position to add to that total. Orford snuck his head through. Last tackle, Dunley. The left foot across field. Oh, guys, made a middle of it. Chris Hicks scores the try. Matt Geyer has had a shocker. It is a rarity. And Manly lead 14-0.
Matt Geyer, one of the seasoned veterans of this Storm side. You'd probably never see Matt Geyer drop another ball all season. He had it covered perfect. Dunley jumped out of dummy half, which he's been so good at since he's come onto the field. Looking at plenty of time. He just probably took his eyes off the ball at the last second, went straight through his feet, and then Hicks comes pouncing through. I tell you what, Wayne, you've got to feel sorry for him because there's nowhere to hide once this happens out there.
Well, it was a sloppy-looking kick. In fact, if Geyer doesn't drop it, he gets bagged for putting that sort of kick in. It was just a kick that didn't... There was no pressure on Matty Geyer. I haven't seen him do that in the career thus far. So he's disappointed, he's dejected. He realises that gives Manly a huge leg up and enormous momentum as we wind down towards the half-time break. But, well, in the end, I suppose perseverance for Chris Hicks, chasing through, comes up with the try.
Orford at 50% for tonight. Kicking 10 metres in, just over 20 metres back. 14 points to 0 in favour of the Manly Warringah Seagulls. Been a gutsy showing from the home side. He split the post with this one as well. 16-0 and a lot of work in front of the visitors who have lacked cohesion and fluency so far tonight. Both sides missing their key players on representative duties for Matty Geyer.
You do feel sorry for Matt Geyer, but he'll get over it. He'll get back into the game straight away. But I just feel for the Storm, if they want to get themselves back into this game, being down 16 points to 0 so far, Scott Hill has to stand up. He is captain tonight. He's got to start leading by example, get his hands on the ball a little bit more off Cooper Cronk, and start utilising his outside man.
That's better from the Melbourne Storm. A little bit of intensity defensively. And with 5 minutes remaining, an opportunity for the visitors to post their first points for the night.
Yes, they've forced the error. It's tremendous defence. They love attacking the opposition when they've got the opposition coming off their line. They've looked pretty ordinary in this area of the field thus far in this game. Lacked options, lacked the runners. Let's see if they can put some variations in here.
Here is Hill. 4 Eagles in there. Means the defensive line is thin, and it is thin on the right-hand side. They come to the left of the Storm. Cronk on the inside is Kafusi, big and strong and difficult to stop at close range. Hoffman trying the blindside play. Well read by the Eagles. Cronk is very deep. He steps, not going with his second receiver this time. Scott Hill wraps around the ruck, passes to Kafusi. He looked to get it back to Geyer, but couldn't. Hill moves into dummy half. They go open side. They go to Cronk. He goes to the air. Too much depth on the kick. And it was easily taken by Michael Robinson. It's a different Melbourne Storm side, Gary, to the one that we saw 7 nights ago dominate the Cowboys.
Well, they dominated it in a couple of areas, and that was around the ruck area, jumping out there, good kick chase. But here they're lacking a little bit of creativity. This is where they missed the likes of Cameron Smith, jumping out of dummy half and making the yardage. Brendan has been very, very good, but he's not that creative with the ball in hand. And the other thing is, they need to go wide a little bit earlier. Stand and deliver the pass. Especially up to their right-hand side, where Orford is sitting there. He should be a target of the Storm forwards.
Into Melbourne territory. Just under 3.5 remaining. It is 16-0. In favour of the home side. Orford in control of the footy. He puts it up. It is batted back by Manly. Taken in hand by the Storm. And by Ryan Hoffman. Here is Geyer. Steps off the right. There are 3 Eagles there. A long way to go upfield. Some 65 metres, that's the place they want to be, and desperate to post points before half-time.
They take pride in their capacity to get over the advantage line, the Melbourne Storm, and they're not doing that tonight. Normally when they're on song, when they've got their full team and their full forward pack out there, they just steam over that advantage line like a locomotive. Tonight they're disjointed. Manly's actually slowing down to play the ball and allowing their defensive line to actually intimidate the Storm.
Cronk. And it goes straight to Chris Hicks, as many of the footballs have done tonight. The back 3 have been well positioned and taken the ball on the full. I guess due to the conditions, it was never going to be a pretty game, but winning ugly, if it still gets you the 2 competition points, is just fine by Desi Hasler. The Eagles have the bye next week, so a very crucial game for them tonight.
And that's what Des will be hoping for, that he can get through with missing some of his superstars and they can win this game. There's still an opportunity for the Storm. There's still over 40-odd minutes to go in the second half. And they can be creative. And I think that's what Craig Bellamy will be saying at half-time. Let's start using our flair. That's what we're known for. Yes, we might make some mistakes, but give yourself an opportunity to win the game.
Burns. Bludger down to Geyer, who takes this one safely. And back into the line.
And off the back of what you were saying, Gary, I think it comes back to just a lack of self-belief. The Storm just don't look confident tonight without their key men. And on top of their representative players out, you've also got Billy Slater suspended. You've got Michael Crocker also out suspended. So they've got the core of their experience out. And they're looking around at each other as to who's going to lead the way.
Friend grabs 10 or 11 metres, wrapped up by Orford. Tackle number 4, final minute. Hill, dummies one way, dummies the other, takes the ball to ground. This is the last tackle and the last opportunity for Melbourne to post points in the half. They won't do it with that type of kick. An awkward bounce. It ends up with Michael Robertson, and he is tackled centre field. Final 30 seconds of this opening half. 3 tries, plays nil.
And you're correct in saying that. The kick then by Cooper Cronk, he should have put it up in the air. Give yourself an opportunity. You know, look, there goes Friend again, making another tackle by Cooper Cronk. Let's start dictating the play like he has in the last probably 6 to 7 weeks.
A lost ball in the hands of Hoffman, so the Storm with one last opportunity. This is Geyer. They will get one more play only. Cronk, Hoffman. He goes to ground with the football. The Manly crowd, they rise as one because their heroes lead at the break 16 points to nil. It has been a dominating performance from the home side, minus several of their stars through rep duties and injury. Can the Storm remain atop the NRL ladder after round 11? Stay with us on Super Saturday to find out.
This Fox Sports Update is brought to you by Jeep.
On the late edition of Fox Sports News, we'll have all the highlights as round 11 in the NRL continues. The Tigers' stunning win over AFL League leaders Adelaide. Rod Pampling leads at the halfway mark of the Colonial in Texas. Plus, we'll tell you who'll meet in the Super 14 final. All the details tonight at 11 o'clock Eastern.
We have the biggest range, and we offer you the best service, and we obviously have the lowest prices. So, and we're very, very proud of that.
Arlec portable floodlight, only $8.98. Azito 2400 watt electric shredder, $269. Stainless steel kitchen sink, $79. 21-piece screwdriver and bit set, just $7.94. If you happen to find a cheaper price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%.
Leave happy. We want the customers here to leave happy.
Bunnings Warehouse. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
15 cents for 10 days.
We print photos from your digital camera at Harvey Norman, and right now we're offering this unbeatable deal.
15-cent prints for 10 days.
Just bring in your media card, USB drive or CD. It's that easy. Harvey Norman prints your digital photos for just
15 cents for 10 days.
Hurry!
Turn it up, dog. Now go in.
German engineered 2-litre Ford Focus. Smooth as.
Keep up to date with all the 2E News Super 14 action with Extra Time. Greg Clark brings you highlights of the weekend's matchups, plus all the latest injury and judiciary news. Extra Time, Tuesday nights at 8:30, Fox Sports 1.
Welcome back to Brookvale Oval for this round 11 Super Saturday matchup between the Melbourne Storm, who lead the NRL, and the Manly Sea Eagles, who came in just inside the top 8, but it has been all the home side in the opening 40 minutes. In fact, 3 tries to nil, 16 points to nil.
And I've got to say that most of the match stats there, that it's all pretty even. It's only really on the scoreboard that the Manly side have done so much better than the Storm. And once again, the completion rate for the Melbourne Storm, this is the way they play their football. They like throwing it around. They try to give themselves an opportunity, but a few passes certainly are not sticking. The same with the Manly side. There's been opportunities out there for probably both sides to score more points, but they've just made the odd mistake that's cost them that opportunity.
Gary, in the opening couple of minutes, Manly had a high percentage of the football. I think it was up around about 75%. They made the most of it. In the 5th minute, Glenn Stewart crossed the line. They led 4-0. Here's the last. Options both sides. Cut out ball and Glenn Stewart. Glenn Stewart is first to score. Early points for the Sea Eagles.
And it's good work, really. Monahan has been devastating out of that ruck area. He picked up Glenn Stewart, just 2 passes wide. Matty Guy really hasn't had the happiest night so far defensively, and he's dropped that ball. Just a couple of things that you wouldn't see Matt Guy do. He's a much, much better player than what he's shown here tonight. Yeah, they've just lacked a little bit of cohesion or a little bit of fluency of the Melbourne Storm. They did have their chances. In fact, they had 2 in the 11th and the 14th minute. Nathan Friend and also Ryan Hoffman. That one ruled a double movement, rightfully so, and Ryan Hoffman, he was close. Yeah, he was pretty close, and the best thing about, once again, chasing those kicks through, and also with young Friend, I don't think I would have not had a go at trying to get that ball over the try line, and I think that's what he thought too, but the referee was in perfect position to make that decision, which was great to see. It's been a real ugly contest, if we can say that nicely.
conditions are difficult here at Brookie. It's slippery and it's been a good arm wrestle in that centre third. And Manly won that arm wrestle, and as a result, they found more points through Steve Matai. The absence of Kennedy and Menzies. Orford. Short ball to Matai. Matai scores.
And this is where the Manly side, when they take straight runners like Matai, the Melbourne Storm are struggling. This is the kick from the sideline. A beautiful kick there by Matt Orford. But in that try, you would have seen the 11 and the 10, Kidwell and White on that right-hand edge. Webster just got lost in the tackle previous, had to work a little bit harder to try and help out his big forwards.
10 points to 0. The scoring wasn't finished there for the home side. Matty Geyer had a shocker, and the scoreline blew out to 16.
Last tackle, Dunley. The left foot across field. Oh, boy, made a minute of it.
He's one of the most consistent footballers in the game, Matt Geyer, isn't he?
Without doubt, you know, and probably one of the most experienced out there at the same time. Look, he'll be disappointed with that, but you will not see him do that again throughout the whole season in 2006. Look, he'll get back and he'll get some good runs out of dummy half, get himself back into the game. Craig Bellamy will give him a lift at the same time.
One of the more impressive players out there in the middle has been Travis Burns. In fact, the bantamweight number 6 has been good all year. He's as tough as shoe leather, and defensively, he's got some whack in him.
Mate, he has, and he doesn't mind getting up and mixing it with the big man. He only probably weighs about 78 kilos, but he's willing to put his body on the line.
This is how it is after 40 minutes. Glenn Stewart, Steve Matai and Chris Hicks are the 3 try scorers. Matt Orford, 2 from 3 with the boot for the Melbourne Storm. Absolutely nothing to report on the scorecard. Still to come here on Super Saturday, plenty more rugby league on your sports leader, because we're heading to Energy Australia Stadium. It's the Newcastle Knights and the Canberra Raiders from 9:20 p.m. Eastern. That on Fox Sports 1. Then the MotoGP right here on your sports leader. Defending world champ Valentino Rossi is in 6th place in the championship and desperate to get the Yamaha back on the top of the podium. Worse still, it was Honda that took 1st and 2nd in the last round at China. Rookie Danny Pedrosa scored his maiden MotoGP victory, and teammate Nicky Hayden took 2nd and extended his lead in the championship. That's the MotoGP live tomorrow at 6:45. Healthy crowd here at Brookie. It is cold. You've got the best seats in the house, so why don't you just stay with us here on Super Saturday? We'll be back with the second half after this.
NRL Sunday on Fox Sports. At 2, the pre-game show takes you live to Telstra for the Bulldogs clash with the Sharks. Both sides on a roll heading into the game, but whose bite's bigger when it counts? At 6, Sydney and Souths clash at Aussie. The Rabbitohs look to hand out some payback after their rivals, the Roosters, came from behind for the win in round 1. Sunday, it's for footy on Fox Sports.
15 cents for 10 days.
We print photos from your digital camera at Harvey Norman. And right now, we're offering this unbeatable deal.
15-cent prints for 10 days.
Just bring in your media card, USB drive or CD. It's that easy. Harvey Norman prints your digital photos for just
15 cents for 10 days.
Hurry.
Bunnings take a lot of care over who they employ. So I think when people come into the store, they're dealing with people who are genuinely interested in them. They get really good service, good advice.
Moraday screw-on door seal, only $14.95. Bosch lithium cordless driver, $66. Heavy-duty multifold ladder, $149. Compost bin, $39.99. Rich Grow organic rose marble, just $5.95.
So I think that makes them want to come back.
Bunnings Warehouse. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Not this. Not that. Not whatever.
Not a trend. Not an afterthought.
Not a quiet night in. Not a compromise.
Not for everyone. Not meant to be. It just is.
The Bourbon.
Get Rich or Die Trying on DVD. You know his name. You've heard his story.
I'd rather die like a man than live like a cow.
But you don't know the man until you see the DVD.
Let's do this.
It's the hustler's ambition. Close your eyes, listen, see my vision. Mossberg pumping, shotgun dumping.
Curtis 50 Cent Jackson.
I had it all, and I wasn't gonna back down.
Terrence Howard.
You shoot first, and you ask questions later.
Get Rich or Die Trying. Rent or buy it now on DVD.
When you're dehydrated, your blood starts to thicken, making it harder for your heart to pump. Powerade is now isotonic, providing fast hydration and energy, proven to help you perform at your peak 10% longer. So whatever you've got your mind set on, Powerade Isotonic can help your body get there.
15 cents for 10 days.
We print photos from your digital camera at Harvey Norman. And right now, we're offering this unbeatable deal.
15 cent prints for 10 days.
Just bring in your media card, USB drive or CD. It's that easy. Harvey Norman prints your digital photos for just
15 cents for 10 days.
Hurry!
Welcome back to Brookvale Oval. Matt Orford is steering this Manly ship in the right direction against his former club. The Seagulls went into the game as favourite. Many thought the bookies had got it wrong. They're right again, because they are dominating over the competition leaders as Scott Hill leads the Melbourne Storm back out. Good for the Storm so far have been Steve Turner and Ian Donnelly, the two top meter getters. Turner's played an excellent game from the back, Gary Freeman.
And he's been put under lots of pressure too by the Orford and Monaghan kicking game, putting up nice and high, but he's looked after that area quite good. He needs some backup from his wingers to get back there and try and help him get the ball out a little bit quicker. You can just see how many runs he's had and how many metres he has made here tonight. He's made that one initial line break. We just need people, the Storm I should say, need people there backing up these people on the edges of the ruck. Has to get himself involved along with the 7, Scott Hill and Cooper Cronk. Take the ball to the line and look for options either side of the ruck, because that's where they've made some breaks, the Storm, around the ruck area.
As Manly come back out onto the field, Big Mark Bryant has been sold in that centre third. Good sign for the Melbourne Storm fans. Despite being down by 16, there was plenty of talk on the field when they came back on for the second half. They haven't gone for the white flag, haven't reached for it yet. As we have a look at Big Mark Bryant's stats, and Anthony Watmoe was lifted in the absence of Stephen Menzies and Ben Kennedy. 91 metres. Good defensively too, getting through the numbers.
And that's what the coach, Des Hazard, will be saying to his players. Look, we all know that both sides are missing their stars, but look, it's an opportunity for you to stand up and be counted and become a leader of your teams.
Second half action, awkward. Storm got the ball and knocked on. This is Orford. Melbourne got a touch there through Jake Webster. Oh, and a problem possibly for Manly with Orford down and back down on all fours.
I think he's a little bit unlucky. He just might have copped an accidental knee in the back.
The 10 for Manly is Phil Morwood. He is tackled right in centre field. Burns taking over at first receiver while Orford's out the back. Stewart slammed to the ground. That is a strong tackle there. Jeremy Smith delivering it. Bryant playing the distributor role. Gets it off to Williamson. Good metres again from Manly after a short-ish kick-off from the Melbourne Storm. That's the danger in a little bit of variation from that initial kick. Last tackle, Orford is back in the line. Dunley arguing with the touch judge. Another deflection into the hands of Webster.
I tell you what, Craig Valley must have said something to his boys at half-time about putting some pressure on the kickers, because then there was probably 4 or 5 coming through at 100 mile an hour to try and slow down these kicks and stop the Manly defensive line getting over the advantage line.
There's Ryan Hoffman named in the centres doing some of the tough stuff. They go the short side through Scott Hill. On this near side of the field, defending 3 in as Matt Orford. He is limping badly, and you would expect that's where the traffic should be going.
That's exactly right, and that's what the players of the Storm should be noticing straight away, that if he is carrying that slight injury, go to him straight away, put some pressure on him, because he will not chase the kick chase here.
Up it goes through Cronk. Hicks takes it easily. The chasing team was just not there from the Melbourne Storm, who are going to have to muscle up defensively and try and limit the metres of the home side. That's a good shot on Michael Robertson. Played all bar one game so far this year. Matai. Just holding on a little bit longer in the tackle of the Storm. They are trying to dominate the ruck offensively and defensively, something they didn't do in the opening 40. Watmo carries it up onto the 40-metre line. That's better in defence from the Storm, limiting it to just 35 metres. A charge down. How quickly the momentum shift can change. This is Brett White, who has knocked the ball on and let Manly off the hook.
And guess who come up with the tackle? Travis Burns, the little man out there, the littlest guy I should say, is come up with a magnificent tackle. That's the second one he has got on Brett White here today. He comes up, he jumped nice and high.
Up here, mate. We've been very close a few times. We don't want it there.
There he is, jumps up nice and high, makes the tackle, and he comes up with a mistake. What a let-off.
Travis Burns, the leading tackler for the Seagulls, with 21 so far, one better than Luke Williamson. That is Williamson with the football now and again into Melbourne territory. That is a massive let-off for the home side. Aren't they missing the work rate and the direction that guys like Dallas Johnson and Cameron Smith provide them?
It's not just the work rate, it's the variety they give them the option in attack as they go wide now, Manly.
Webster wraps up Williamson in a very strong front-on one-on-one tackle. Over the top goes Watmo. It's a good kick. Turner has got Eagles everywhere. He is driven backwards, going nowhere. He's held. There was 5 Manly players within a couple of metres of him, and the pressure once again on the visitors.
It certainly is, but it's a good kick chase. They're down on that right-hand edge. He tries to get out, but as you just pointed out, Andy, 5 Manly defenders down there putting pressure on the fullback, Steve Turner.
Good illustration of how good Manly's kick chase has been tonight, especially from close range. This is Melbourne's 3rd dropout of the night. As Bryant carries it back in, he is met by Kidwell. I think it's White in there as well. No, it's not. It's Adam Blair. Morwood. Had Nathan Friend and Jeremy Smith charging towards him. Burns. Second receiver is Watmo. Broke the initial tackle of Hill, was brought down by Kaufusi. Burns across field. Orford isn't right, and Burns is directing the traffic. Orford is near side. That's the way they go. Short ball to Williamson. Beats one, beats two. Was trying to crawl his way to the line. Dunley, a long ball to Burns. Inside to Stewart, who leaves it behind.
Hold it, you all right? That's all right, we've got 0 tackle there. Holding. You all right? Yeah, we've got the lost ball. That's okay.
Referee Gavin Badger just checking on the well-being of Brett Stewart. The crowd went up. They thought it was high. I thought it was a jersey grab.
It was a jersey grab, and it comes from the inside play once again. They were gone for numbers. They slip over. That's just pulling them down. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's a good decision by referee Badger not to be intimidated by the players who then go upstairs and look at it. The crowd can boo and say whatever they want. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
Good young kid and a tough young kid is Brett Stewart. Matt Orford blowing up Deluxe at the referee. It's not going to change the decision. Here is Crossman. Working it out of their own 10-metre area. Haven't Manly done well tonight in the absence of some of their stars? And on the sideline, Wayne Pearce is with one of them.
Well, Steve Menzies, congratulations on your a selection in the New South Wales team, like a kid in a candy shop at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, mate, it's good to get a start, and really looking to Wednesday night. Really looking forward to it.
But I suppose your focus tonight is your teammates here at Manly. Gee, they're going well.
Yeah, the boys are good at 16-0 at the moment. They snuck one try at them, but you know, they're playing pretty good. I think if they can just keep the pressure on, it's you know, we can come away with the 2 points.
Well, they forced another area here. Desi would be happy with that. What was his instructions at half-time?
Just keep it simple, you know. I think we've just got to grind it out. You know, our mistakes in the last couple of weeks have been, you know, just turning the ball over in possession and just giving them too many chances.
Thanks for chatting to us. Good luck on Wednesday night.
Thanks, Junior. Cheers, mate.
Steve Menzies, well, we're talking to him, a horrible mistake from Cooper Cronk. And didn't Shane Dunley tell him all about it? He's the type of bloke you want to hit, Shane Dunley, and keep hitting, but his teammates just love him. He's motivational, he's inspirational.
You've summed it up. That's what he is. You know what? People come to the game to watch players like that because he is something different, and he will do something out of the ordinary that may upset the opposition or maybe inspire his teammates.
I remember a certain halfback from an era just gone by that was very similar.
Please, wasn't me.
I used to sit in the grandstand or the hill at Leichhardt Oval, and if I could have reached, I would have had a shot with it. You would have got me, but
don't think so.
He's the modern-day Gary Freeman, Shane Dunley. He's got plenty of fire and plenty of spirit as the Eagles are on the attack again. Through all for the second-man ball to Stewart, who dummies, goes himself and gets to within 3 metres. Again, a variation shown in attack by the Eagles. This is the last tackle to Orford. A grubber ahead. And try. It is big Mark Bryant. A front rower capitalising on a grubber. And Manly lead 20-0 kick to come. And it could be a long night at the office for the Storm.
Yeah, it all goes back to Cooper Cronk missing the kick downfield, putting it out on the full. They attack beautifully down this left-hand edge, the Manly side. It looked like the fullback was going to go through.
First
Brent Stewart, and that's his first try. And the big guys chase the kick through. Just watch this here. It goes to line, puts a little kick in there, Matt Orford, and he follows it through and scores a well-deserved try. He's worked hard down the middle of the ruck. He's come up with some big tackles. He's taken the ball forward with it. And when they've been under all sorts of pressure, Mark Bryant has put his hand up here tonight to lead by example.
And don't the teammates love when a front rower gets a try? They're genuinely excited, and why not? 34 games for Mark Bryant. That his first career try. 20-0, it is about to become 22. And Melbourne have not looked like scoring. 31 minutes remain. Des, you can relax. Everything is looking good if you're a Manly supporter. Desi rides it hard.
They just missed that leadership of the players that are missing here playing for Queensland and of course New South Wales. Steve Kearney giving the messages out. Bellamy just looking on.
Williamson did well to collect that football. It dropped short and quickly.
It was a tough call. They've won 5 games on the trot. And in the NRL, if you can win 3 or 4 games on the trot, it's a big effort to get yourself up week in, week out. To get themselves up for the 6th consecutive win would have been a massive effort with their full complement of players. They've got a lot of players that aren't regular first graders out there tonight doing their best, but they just are short of the mark in intensity.
Here is Dunley, and the metres are easy ones now for the Sea Eagles. They really gusted out in that first 25 minutes, and this is the reward, a 22-0 lead as Turner takes the ball away from his own line. And still the Manly defence has some sting and some intensity in it.
It's their kick chase. It is so good. It's on song here tonight. They're working very, very hard for each other. And Manly outside men, when the kick's put through, they're all getting down on the line.
And since half-time, they've just gone up another 2 gears. I mean, the first half, they were patchy. They started the game very patchy. But this second half, they've really been on song. And as you say, they're really kicking well. They're chasing well. They're forcing the Storm into error.
Kidwell to the line, finds Webster. Opportunity. This is Walker. On the inside is Geyer. Geyer to the line. Across comes Hicks. Geyer is there. Melbourne Storm hit back. It has taken 51 minutes. Finally, they post some points.
And it's great to see that Matty Guy has got this try back. He gave one up to the Manly side earlier in the first half when he dropped the ball over the line from a kick. And he's turned things around. Good backing up. Probably one of the few times. Oh, this looks bad here. Well, Maddie comes off the field holding that right arm. Looks like he may have broken it. I hate to see that he'd done it because he had a magnificent season so far. Got rewarded, getting inclusion into the Kiwi side, and he's been strong. And it was Kidwell going forward, then Webster backing up. This is what they're good at, Melbourne. This is when they can hurt you. When they've got them players that play off the hips, they can create some opportunities for their outside man. And I'm so happy for this man here scoring the try. And he will be delighted with that 4-pointer.
Yeah, Kidwell's played powerfully tonight. He hasn't had the support players throughout the game. He did on that occasion. Walker did well to position Matty Guy. Guy's footwork in the end was superb as well. As you pointed out, he started the game in pretty ordinary fashion, has come home strongly, and is about to convert his own try.
He does just that. 22 points to 6. We're not over on Super Saturday. It may well be for Steve Maddie. No, he's going to head back into position. It'll take more than a sore arm. Look at Maddie from the right come in. Such a harmless looking incident. In fact, it was almost the shoulder of Matty Orford that seemed to cop the Maddie forearm.
But that's Matt Orford there, missing the tackle on Kidwell. That's who they need to target, a much smaller man. Everyone knows that the halves now are making plenty of tackles in the game. It's the way the modern-day player is. They try and pinpoint all these players, and if they attack him, they'll create some opportunities on the edges, because Maddie will always play up and in defence, and you'll get some holes on the edges.
The problem they face, Gary, tonight is the Manly side have slowed down their play the ball to the extent that they haven't been able to position their runners to run at their spot defenders in the Manly lineup. So Manly have done a great job in slowing down this play the ball, as they have done again just here. Get their defence set, and they can't get the ball out to players like Matty Orford.
This is Jeremy Smith. Referee Gavin Badger has certainly let this one flow. Just the 3 penalties so far. Good offload there into the hands of White. Continues to promote the football. Tackle number 4. They are over halfway. Cronk. Second to Kidwell. Look to run it Orford again. Gets it back to his halfback. The inside runner, I think, is Gaia. The try scorer is tackled very quickly to his feet. Cronk. Well picked up. Turner loses his footing. Didn't look to the right. Jeremy Smith was there with us.
Yeah, a little bit disappointed in Steve Turner, the deflection. Actually, Cooper Cronk was in 2 minds, whether he would run it on the last play or put the kick in. He decided to put the kick in the last second. He got that deflection. But once again, the Storm are starting to create some opportunities now. They're getting those little passes away, something that Manly have got to address defensively. Get numbers in the tackles, as what Wayne Pearce is saying. Slow their play of the balls down.
Manly have had a high majority of possession, 57% plays 43. And those type of numbers in the modern game, with everything being so even, it is just impossible to compete. Webster fell off the tackle there. Walker was there to complete it on Robertson as they go to Warford and apply pressure to him. An awkward kick, an awkward bounce. Hill bats it back, gets it onto Webster, brushes off one. Can't beat the second line, and that was Burns and also Bryant.
Just look at the Melbourne Storm players.
And penalty Melbourne.
There's a hand in there, knock that out, mate.
Yep. Hey, back it up. Matt Orford just trying to slow it down again. He could just feel that the game's starting to turn in the favour of the Storm here. They're getting that quick play ball. They're getting numbers through. They're getting plenty of pressure now. Well, Orford is. For the defenders coming through him, especially on his kicking game.
Holding, boys. Little hand there from Mark Bryant, forcing the ball loose as Donnelly carries it back. Oh, that's strong from Ian Donnelly. Still going. The impersonation of a human bulldozer. He makes the best part of 25 metres. Good stuff from the front rower. Looking to put the big shot on there was George Rose. Wasn't to be. They come back the short side. It has gone back. There is Webster. Has a couple of eagles there. Very hard to bring down the number 3. And wouldn't this make it interesting? A score here. Awful service from dummy half. Smith goes straight through them. Shane Dunley, well done. From Hill. Hill juggles. Play on. Flicks it out the back. Back to the number 7. Now to Geyer. On again. Crossfield. Jeremy Smith. They're playing touch footy, the Melbourne Storm. Now it's Donnelly. Has he got any breath left after that 25-metre spurt earlier? Last tackle. They need points. They'll settle for a repeat set, though. Across field we go. Now there's pressure. Hoffman is knocked on Melbourne.
We're going 20.
We'll come out to the 20-metre zone and restart play with Manly.
And it all started with Ian Donnelly going to the line. Just watch this big hit. Boom, get out of my way, he goes to what mode. And then the fullback comes across. He tries to take him away. Get out of my way again. That's the sort of stuff that Craig Bellamy would have said to his players at half-time. We've got to start to dominate. You've got to go forward. We've got to make some hard yards. You just get the feeling, don't you? The game's starting to turn in their favour a fraction. Even though they're behind on the scoreboard, they can score these sorts of tries if they get players like Hill involved in the game early.
But Gary, they can't wait too much longer. 22.5 to go and a long way yet. Still 16 points the difference. Bryant carries it forward. Geyer doing a lot defensively in the middle of the ruck tonight. He was there with Crossman. Monahan. Big kick downtown to Turner. He heads centre field. Links up with a very fleet-footed young man here. Smith Samau, in jersey number 5, was scheduled to start on the wing. Relegated to the bench. Here is Chris Walker.
He's got some pace, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Samau chucked in there at the deep end. Now gets his opportunity with only 22 minutes to go in the game. The Manly side, they're really going to start dominating this ruck here, which they did so well in the first half. Geyer playing active half.
Cronk straight through, links up with Turner. Melbourne are in for their second. That is simple rugby league, but it's effective.
And it's probably the first time that the little halfback has gone to the line with people either side of him, left side and right side. And that's what he's done. Great play here by the fullback and Turner going across. Somehow he's only just come on the field. He's got a good turn of pace by the look of him. He's very, very strong, and up against the Manly players that are starting to tire, this is good work by the halfback. Going to the line, throwing the little dummy, and then backing up once again. The fullback and Stevie Turner, he deserves that try. He's played very, very well here tonight.
Yeah, look a little bit tired in the centre of the ruck there. The Manly side, as you said, Steve Turner been one of the Storm's best tonight. They thoroughly deserved that try. Manly can't afford to drop off the intensity and talk in around the rucks because the ball players, Scott Hill and Cooper Cronk in particular, will carve up Manly. They've got to make sure they continue to defend the rucks solidly.
Geyer from right in front has a personal tally of 8 points tonight. We are down to a 10-point game. Manly 22 plays Melbourne 12. This is the reason why.
You can't afford to have the big fellas. George Rose on that occasion didn't get his footwork happening and allowed the tackler through, or the ball carrier through, I should say. But Manly, they've mentally got the upper hand. Des Hasler's got to be a little bit frustrated. We've seen them barking orders down through the microphone. The runners getting messages onto the field. No doubt he'll be saying, we haven't got this in the bag yet. The Storm can come back from here. Got to maintain our intensity, play some field position, and get our defence happening.
Oh, there was a question mark over that pass from here.
I thought it was forward, to tell you the truth. The linesman was in perfect position. Maybe the angle got me. Donnelly, once again, he's been strong.
Gary, you had a bit to do with him last year when you were coaching the North Sydney Premier League side.
Yeah, he wasn't happy to be there. And I think he's turned this whole season around from being there and having a few games starting in the Storm. And then this year, he came off the bench last week, and I think that's what's turned this whole season around. He knows if you want to be starting this one, man, you've got to produce the football, which he's doing. Here goes Kidwell.
Straight at Orford. Oh, and gets a good ball away to Webster. Webster He attracts 3 defenders, last tackle, and the metres are now easier for Melbourne. 60 of them as they go to Cronk. Bit of variation over the top, allowing it to bounce with Stewart. And Stewart goes to ground.
Good work. Once again in that set of 6 there by the Melbourne Storm, there are a number of offloads and line breaks. Well, we can see the Storm in this second half are certainly the team that looks more penetrative. They're the more dynamic team. And a lot of those off breaks are coming off second phase play as well. In that last set, we saw some second phase happening, and that's causing problems for the outside backs for Manly.
Just dominating the ruck. A lot better at Melbourne in this second 40. It hasn't been a technically brilliant game. I'm going to give all 34 Warriors out there a huge rap at the end of this one. It's been very, very physical. It's been enjoyable, and it's been an arm wrestle. Matt Orford was challenged after that kick. We've seen that be awarded a penalty. Rightly or wrongly, Gary, it has been awarded a penalty over the last couple of weeks.
It has, but I've got to say the referee got it 100% right. Too. Who's sick here?
Chris Walker it is.
Walker. He turns his back.
That's the Matt Orford challenge. David Kidwell on Orford.
No dramas. Oh, I think Travis Bird's maybe in a bit of trouble here. The left hand coming a fraction high. Yep. And I've got to say, I'm a big supporter of this kid. I love the way he plays, but I think he might find himself in a bit of trouble. Chris Walker. What's the report, Nashi? He's in Disneyland. But the kid's he's not a dirty player, but he'll be spoken to.
Being called out now by Gavin Badger.
Okay, what we've got here, we've had a look on evidence. It is high. Okay, I understand that. I've spoken to you a bit before about going into tackles. Let's keep him down, not have an issue. It's not an issue. You've got to make sure it's not. Okay, we've deemed that he was in the air. He couldn't pull out, mate. Certainly. Thanks.
Momentum just turning.
You all right, Chris?
Yeah, he's a courageous player, Travis Burns, but one thing he's got to watch for is the penalties he gives away. In fact, in the NRL, he's the second most penalised individual in the NRL. Denny Badiris leads the way, and Travis Burns just behind him. A lot of those are for tackles that go astray, tackles that, unfortunately, he's trying to get his shoulder in, but just goes a little too high in the target area.
Here is Crossman, just short of halfway. Great opportunity for Melbourne. Brad Stewart, the fullback, was playing very close to the line as Donnelly spins off a heavy shot there from George Rose. Short side through Hoffman, one of the players that Melbourne will look to over the course of the next 17 minutes. So to that man Cronk. Smith has been sound. Tackle 4. Manly's defence stiffer this set. Cronk takes it to the line. Not afraid to keep the ball in hand, but has done on the 4th, meaning Scott Hill is the option for the last play. He goes to the air. And beautifully taken on the far side by Chris Hicks. That's one thing Manly does have in its favour. 2 reasonably tall wingers, both safe under the high ball.
Oh, he was great there, Chris Hicks. That ball had to be taken. There's plenty of pressure being put on. There he is on screen. He's a magnificent game so far. Now they look to go wide early, knowing that the Storm will play that up and in style of defence and try and catch him on the edge.
Whatnot has produced a courageous display tonight, Anthony. Natai looked for support there. No one was following. Last tackle for Manly. Inside the 40, going nowhere near the sideline. Turner misjudges it, and here come the Eagles. There is a team of 8 of them. What a great chase, Junior.
Yeah, that's a tremendous kick chase there from Manly. It was an error from Steve Turner, allowed the ball to bounce, gave them the extra 10-15 metres, and this is where Manly can really cement this game, cement a victory for this game. They can continue their defence, force an error into the Melbourne Storm, or at least force a poor kick.
Oh,
this is the area, that's what we're looking for.
That is exactly
it, Junior. Let it go. Chris, try. Easy, try. It'll go against you, mate. You've got the ball. All right, yeah, if you're going to get involved. Don't get involved, mate. Yeah, okay.
Travis Burns and Chris Walker with a bit of push and shove, and this was just that mistake.
Yeah, the ball not going to Matty Guy, and he knows he probably should have caught that ball. And then there's a little bit of push and shove in the back play. Travis Burns, he doesn't need to do that. Everyone knows he's a tough customer. He's a tough cookie. He loves taking it to the line. He'll make the tackles. Doesn't need to get there and start pushing and shoving blokes.
A try here will secure the win for Manly, you would think, with under 15 remaining. Hicks out of dummy half. There's 4 Storm players there. They take him to the ground. They stay there for a while too, allowing their line to get a bit of shape about it as Rose carries it forward.
I like the way he's playing, Rose. He's really starting to try and dominate and be a leader in this forward pack for the Manly side.
Orford to Matt-Eye, and a good shoulder there from Chris Walker. Also in on the tackle was Scotty Hill. Orford inside to Watlow. Last tackle. Orford is on the open side. That's where they go. And try. Manly are in, and Manly will win. 26 points, plays 12 kick to come. 14 minutes remaining. And against the momentum in the game, the home side have found the line.
Yeah, they've done a fantastic job, haven't they? It looked like Manly were going to be starting to struggle. Paul Stevenson is the man who's come up with a try. They put it over the far side. Orford taking control. A beautiful weighted kick. The young wing has just come on the field. He's under all sorts of pressure. He's a little bit unlucky there, Wayne. He just had his hands up, but just couldn't catch it.
Well, the tremendous thing about that kick was that it wasn't too high. It was a low trajectory kick, perfectly timed so that the chasers got there at the same time that the kick came down, which put enormous pressure on the defending players. And, well, in the end, Stevenson, he's done well. Bounced perfectly into his arms, but it was a perfectly weighted kick there from Matty Orford. Not too much the defenders could have done with that.
4 for the season for Paul Stevenson. Has only played in 7 games, so his strike rate is a good one. Orford, 9 metres in from touch on that eastern side, 21 metres back. He'll get a great deal of satisfaction with a comprehensive victory here tonight. Flags go up, 28-12, under 13 minutes remaining. And Manly will snap a 2-game losing sequence, and the Storm will suffer their first defeat in 6 weeks.
It's good that the faithful will turn up here tonight. Plenty of kids out here enjoying the night footy, support their home team. Tremendous to see.
Yeah, and the great thing for Manly is that they've shown that they can win without Ben Kennedy. I mean, he's been their Achilles heel in many ways. If he plays, they have a much higher percentage of winning. But tonight, they've done it without him. They've done it hard as well. And there he is there. He'd be as pleased as anybody. The fact that they've been able to step up. He's a real leader within this club. He'd love to be out there, but unfortunately, he's had to pull out with injury. But the team are playing with enormous enthusiasm. And Anthony, as you mentioned earlier, Anthony Watmo has really stepped up tonight and taken on that senior leadership role in the forwards.
Melbourne defensively have been made to work a lot harder. 256 tackles, plays 210. Difference of about 8 sets. You can see the fatigue wearing in. They go to Burns on the short side. A high midfield kick straight down to Turner. Not going anywhere fast, not through that Manly line. They let in 2 Melbourne tries early in the second half. By and large, this Manly defence has been superb.
And that's been the highlight of their game, that defensively they have been so strong, especially on their kick chase. Now that Steve Turner's a very, very quick man, and then you've got the likes of Walker. They can create opportunities for their outside man or for themselves, and you've got to have a good chasing line. And that's what Manly has produced tonight.
Crossman plays it back to Friend, on to Cronk, now to Donnelly. His work rate has been good again tonight. He leads the hit-ups, that is 13th to Cronk. To the air, looking for Hoffman, Not good enough to challenge Robinson, who came away with the speed in. and did it in style.
And Hoppin, a much taller man too. And Robinson on this left-hand wing. He's gone through beautiful. He's just held his ground. Robinson has been strong. He goes again, helping out his forwards.
Away from the head, David.
Win Manly really needed to have confidence boost without, as Junior said earlier, Ben Kennedy, also Menzies, Kite, Bell. Little chip over the top from Orford. Here comes Stewart. And Stewart has somehow come up with the football, stole it almost straight out of the breadbasket of Cooper Cronk.
Brett Stewart magic.
Hicks on the right-hand side of the football field. Samau was there. Oh, heavy stuff. Smith. They go across field, the Sea Eagles. Williamson a dummy half. On to Orford. Not content yet. They can see some more points in the last 9 minutes. Can Des Hasler's men? Orford. Grubber this time. Chris Hicks is there. Perhaps another try for
That's
the
just
Eagles.
want to check if his shoulder touches the dead ball line before he puts the ball in. His last tackle, yes?
He was right on the spot, Gavin Badger. He's gone upstairs. Steve Nash, our video referee for the night.
And Orford again's been magnificent with his kicking game, especially the short one. Puts it on the ground nice and low. Watch this, he takes his time, let them come off the line, puts the kick in. Beautifully weighted and directed here. And Steve, he's onside, that's not a problem. And does he get it down, Hicks? Yeah, that's fine. I think that's fine. Wayne, have a look at this here.
Yeah, looking to see whether it's too long there. It's inside the dead ball line, so that's not a problem at all. But as you pointed out, it was a perfectly weighted kick and good timing by Chris Hicks as well. That'll be a green light without a problem in the world. And Matty Orford rolls the ball off his ankle so that he gets that awkward flopping bounce, which is very difficult for the defending team to shut down. It'll be a green light.
Certainly will, and just reward for Chris Hicks, who of course played with the Penrith Panthers before joining the Sea Eagles. He's a great club man, a very good guy to have around. And tell you what, he can play footy as well. 5 for the season, 2 tonight, and at his 61st so far in his career. And what a career it's been. Represented several times at city country level. This one comes down to the accuracy of Orford.
There's not too much you can do about that sort of kick as a defender. The fullback, Steve Turner, was in the right position. He was trailing the ball across on the inside. The winger was up. They looked shaped to pass the football. The winger was up, so he had to stay up in the line. There was a big void behind. Chris Hicks said, thank you very much.
Matt Orford from almost an identical spot to where he converted the last one. And the result's identical too as the flags go up. Good night with the boot for young Matt Orford, 5 from 6. Manly flags are flying high at Brookvale Oval. It is 34 points to 12.
Craig Bellamy certainly not happy. Looking on, he'll be disappointed that his Chargers haven't played a lot better here tonight. But the Orford kicking game, the tries that he set up with it have been very, very good.
Good strong meters there from Phil Morwood. Premier League regular who has been given his opportunity. And he has made the most of it tonight as Phil. Luke Williamson. Lifted up and placed down ever so gently. Out to Burns, 3 wide of the ruck. Brett Stewart just adding to the variation Manly has there by sliding into second receiver in between the half and 5'8". 15 is Nathan Tutt. He's had only limited opportunities tonight as Monahan takes the kick. Turner. Big night next, or big day, should I say, next Sunday as Melbourne play host to Penrith at Olympic Park. That's Sunday, May 28, and of course the Seagulls, as I said earlier, have the bye. They'll enjoy the fortnight too after a very comprehensive win. See the look of disappointment on the face of young Steve Turner there. It just hasn't been Melbourne's night, but credit to the Eagles. They started with intensity, they started with enthusiasm, and they grinded away. And the result of that domination has really shown in the last 20 minutes, half hour.
When I blow the whistle, truck. Heads in, fellas.
And I think you'll see that Des Hasler will be very, very happy with the way that his young crew have gone. We'll talk about those other experienced players. Oh, that's a little bit disappointing. Matt, I nearly threw a hole once again. Walker takes it here for the Storm.
Don't spoil it.
Hurt his arm earlier, did Steve Maddie. Not going to use that as an excuse, though. He's rough and tumbled as the ball comes back to Nathan Friend, who has not stopped trying tonight.
He's been their best, without doubt. Defensively, he's been nice and strong.
I think there's a split here between he and David Kidwell. Both of them have excelled defensively, 41 and 37 tackles each to Friend and Kidwell. Here is the 15 in Feeney. 5 minutes remain. This is where the old days the clock used to stop. Turner breaks through. We'd guess the remaining seconds. Gronk takes it to the line. Spills it out the back. I think he thought it was the last tackle.
You held it the first time.
Not to be. Again, Manly's desperation in defence is the reward. No points again for the Storm.
Yeah, and it was, as you pointed out, look, could have been a penalty trying to force the ball out second movement after the tackle was affected on that occasion, but you get back to the scoreline and 34 points to 12. I think that's a fair representation of the difference between the two teams. I think Manly has comprehensively outplayed Melbourne, and Melbourne, apart from the burst just after half-time where they scored a couple of tries, they've been beaten in the play of the ball, they've been beaten at the speed of the line. The kicking game has been a lot better. In fact, Matt Orford, I think, has given a blessing to the Storm with his kicking game tonight, and that's laid a platform, an enormous foundation for Manly's win.
Good run there. That was Watmo. This is Malangi Styles, a local junior that Des Hasler has got enormous wraps on. Jersey number 18. Young front rower. Another front rower here, Bryant.
He was pacing up and down to around about the 6 minute mark. He was trying to get onto the field. He was pacing. Get me out there. Let me at him.
Good kick for touch there. That'll wind the clock down another 30 or so seconds. And I think all 34 players would be happy with that. The conditions have been difficult tonight. Rain in Sydney for the majority of the afternoon. It stopped just after kick-off, but it is very slippery, the surface, so too the football. We're not finished on Super Saturday just yet. After this, we're headed up to Newcastle at Energy Australia Stadium, where the Newcastle Knights play host to the Canberra Raiders, hell-bent on revenge after a walloping earlier this year at the hands of the Knights in Canberra. That's Newcastle-Canberra. Next up, your nightcap on Super Saturday. Scott Hill takes it to the line and takes the tackle. 3 minutes remain. Confidence is an amazing thing in professional sport. It doesn't matter who the team or what the sport. This Melbourne side tonight is a team without confidence despite 5 successive wins. There are 4 rep stars missing. Put that seed of doubt in their mind.
Also, they've made too many errors, but the interesting part about the stats, when you look at their line breaks, the Storm made 5 line breaks to Manly's 2. 9 times out of 10, those line breaks result in tries. They haven't done that tonight. They've dropped too much ball. Their completion rate's right down. and they would be very disappointed with their performance here tonight.
And the other factor, Gary, is that when the Storm have got you down on your line, well, they're attacking your line. Normally they'll convert that into points. Tonight they've had as much ball on Manly's line as Manly have had on Melbourne's line, but they just haven't been able to convert them into tries and into points. They've been very disjointed and missing those key confidence players.
Matt Orford just throwing a ball that Chris Hicks couldn't take, but it's been a good night for the little number 7. 3 try assists for Matt Orford tonight, coming off kicks. A hugely rewarding night.
Yeah, he was building himself up for a really, really big game. And leaving the Storm, it was a big move for him. For the number 7. Very, very big move to come up here, but I'll tell you what, he has played absolutely soundly here tonight. He's been inspirational for them. His kicking game has been fantastic.
But he can only lay that platform and be outstanding when he's got his forwards doing the job. And the Manly forwards have really comprehensively outplayed the Storm pack tonight. And that's a big effort because they're missing a number of key forwards with injuries and representative duties as well. So it's been a tremendous club performance, club effort by Manly tonight to come up with a victory here.
What about that tackle there, boys?
Under a minute to go, and I think you got it exactly right, Junior. A great club performance, and I think that will be what pleases most Des Hasler, Noel Cleal, Paul Cummins, and the football club staff, as well as the coaching staff, including your former teammate, boys, Big Blocky Roach. It has been a good club performance as the ball heads north again. Well taken, Stewart at the back. Turner is there. So to a ring of Melbourne defenders, and here goes Stewart. Oh, holding on for dear life was Nathan Friend. As Orford shifts it wide and quickly. Into the hands of Paul Stevenson. Final seconds of this round 11 contest. Travis Burns is tackled just in Melbourne territory. He'll be in no rush to get to his feet. As the siren sounds here at Brookvale Oval, it has been a comprehensive victory to the home side. Manly 32 have beaten Melbourne just 12. Difficult conditions. They snap a 2-game losing streak. 34 points to 12. Matt Orford against his old club. A great night for him. In total, it was 6 tries to 2. Couple in the first half. Matt was again solid. But it was such a strong second half performance. That was the one that almost summed up Melbourne's night. Mark Bryant scoring the first try of his career. Batted back. Paul Stevenson was on the spot. And it was just a case of by how much late in the contest. Chris Hicks with a double here tonight. It was Hicks 2, Stewart 1, Matai, Bryant, Stevenson, Orford had a good night with a boot 5 from 6 for the Melbourne Storm. The try scorers were Geyer and Turner and Matt Geyer. 2 from 2, 34 points to 12. Missing their representative stars, it is all smiles here on the Northern Peninsula. Still to come on Super Saturday. We are headed to Energy Australia Stadium. It is the Knights and the Raiders tomorrow on NRL Sunday. The Bulldogs and the Sharks live from Telstra Stadium. The pre-game show at 2 p.m. And there is the nightcap on what has been so far an entertaining Super Saturday. First the Warriors victorious, then the Manly Sea Eagles. They have broken a 2-game losing streak and have the bye, the Manly Sea Eagles. We hope you've enjoyed it from Brookvale Oval. Stay with us because we're headed to Newcastle.
Friday night at 7:30. The second test between England and Sri Lanka gets underway.
Unbelievable.
Live from Edgbaston, the build-up to the Ashes continues 7:30 Friday night. Fox Sports 2.
Not this. Not that. Not
but whatever. Not a trend, not an afterthought.
Not a quiet night in, not a compromise.
Not for everyone. Not meant to be. It just is.
The Bourbon.
Well, we've got some retirement money in super, but how do we use it, Dazza?
Do this. Buy a racehorse. Put it in a race, and with the money left over, bet on it. You get the prize money and the winnings. Ka-ching.
Don't ask Dazza. Ask a real financial planner. Only they can help you with all your financial planning needs.
Contact the FPA for an advice pack or a planner near you.
15 cents for 10 days.
We print photos from your digital camera at Harvey Norman. And right now, we're offering this unbeatable deal.
15-cent prints for 10 days.
Just bring in your media card, USB drive or CD. It's that easy. Harvey Norman prints your digital photos for just
15 cents for 10 days.
Hurry!
This program is brought to you by Tooheys New for the love of beer. Harvey Norman, there's a store near you. Jim Beam, the spirit of rugby league. And Bunnings Warehouse, where lowest prices are just the beginning. Australia Stadium in Newcastle. It's the Newcastle Knights up against the Canberra Raiders.
One change to the Newcastle lineup. They've lost winger Anthony Quinn. His replacement in jumper number 18 is Brad Tighe. Of course, Danny Badiris and Steve Simpson are on State of Origin duty. Riley Brown will start the game in jumper number 9, while Todd Lowry starts the game in the second row in 12. Kirk Reynoldson will wear jumper number 11. The captain is Andrew Johns. The Knights are coached by Michael Hagan. A couple of changes for the Canberra Raiders and a major one there. Jason Smith is out. Todd Carney is his replacement in jumper number 18. They've also lost Andrew Lomu. His replacement in 19 is Trevor Thurling. Simon Wolford and Tom Leroy Lars go to the interchange bench. Alan Tung